In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Whoa! Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started again.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so.
Welcome to the Red State Town Hall program. I'm your host, Primo Mondoni. My co-host, Ken Brown, will join me in a couple of minutes. Please visit the show's website, redstatetownhall.com. While you're there, be sure to like us on both Facebook and Twitter. If you wish to contact us, the email address is Premo, Premo, at redstatetownhall.com. Our show is broadcast here on Red State Talk Radio, America's premier grassroots conservative internet talk radio network. The show is also syndicated through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podomatic, TalkStream Live, Player.fm, Roku, and at least a dozen other websites. You can listen to the station using their Android, iPhone, and BlackBerry apps. Visit the station's website, redstatetalkradio.com, to download the appropriate app for your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, you can listen using any phone on the station's 24/7 listener line provided by TalkStream Live by dialing the following: for Studio A, 605-562-4209, and for Studio B, 518-712-0045. Before we start the show, let's give a shout out to our AM, FM, and digital affiliates: WDDQ FM 92.1, Adel, Georgia; WSFB 1490 AM, Talk 97.7 FM, Quitman, Georgia; WJNW AM 1650, Hermitage, Tennessee; Talk Radio AM 1620, KTFL, Gilbert, Arizona; WMQL Radio FM 105.5, Brevard, North Carolina; Kaufman County Talk Radio AM 1680, KCTR, Terrell, Texas; TaxPro Radio, Gainesville, Georgia; WCNR Digital, West Virginia; and K98Talk.com. Now let's bring on my co-host from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Ken Brown. Mr. Brown, how you doing today, sir?
I'm trying to wake up. We were doing the show a little earlier. So.
Yeah.
But I'll try to hang in with you.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I had some stuff to do this afternoon, so I appreciate kind of getting it done early.
You want to tell us about it, or
just? I knew you were going to do that. Just a date with a lovely woman. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right.
You had yours last night. Well, your date. I don't know what you had last night. What you had date last night. So I'll leave it at that. Move at that. I don't know if you've got another one this afternoon. I know that you have them usually lined up. You have to keep a special app on your phone just to keep track of it.
Special app. Yeah, I have a special app.
See, I'm more of a one woman kind of guy. I'm just.
Actually, I've been a one woman kind of guy.
Oh, really?
Lately, so. Yeah.
Really? Is she listening?
I don't.
Would you like to confess anything? Would you like to get something off your chest, or
no? So the first topic is.
Let's move on. Enough about our dating life, and we're not going to talk about the Tennessee Vols because they're off today. This weekend, they didn't play this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So no need to talk. But they play Alabama next weekend, and God, would that be sweet to beat them finally after several years being on the short end of the stick. It'd be nice to surprise them. I don't think that's going to happen, probably. But
yeah, I wouldn't bet on that one.
No, that's why I don't bet anymore. I used to in the old days when the money was a lot better. I was actually pretty good at it. Anyway, let's get started. We can tell stories about that someday if we ever. Seriously, if we ever stop the show, we need to have the drunk show. We need to both get snockered. And, of course, I've not been drunk since college. But still, we need to both get snockered and do the show. I think it would be a very interesting show.
Well, that's when I met you, was in college. So
it would be like old times, wouldn't it? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this man had never had a beer before he met me. And so I fixed that really quick. That didn't last long. But that was a different time. That was, like I said, I've not been drunk since college. I just don't. I will have a drink occasionally, but I just don't get snockered like that anymore. I used to, usually every weekend I was hunkered over the toilet doing
weekend. You didn't wait till the weekends.
Well, that's true. I didn't back then. Well, in my defense, I worked full time, 40 hours a week at a package store. So
that's your defense.
It was all around me.
That's your defense.
Well, it's better than no defense law, I guess. Okay, let's get started. Enough about that. Okay, let's talk about first of all, before the debate last week, the Democrat debate, CNN was predicting they would have a significantly smaller ratings for the Democratic debate than they did for the Republican debate. And that prediction came true. It was, I think, a record for a Democratic debate, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Something like that. But it was nowhere near the number of people who watched the Republican debate. I think it was about, I don't know, about half or something somewhere in that range. I mean, I don't know, but it was quite a bit less interest in that. That's because A, the field was small compared to Republicans, and B, you didn't have Donald Trump in there, who's always good for a laugh, and you basically had the Bernie and Hillary show is pretty much what you had for the most part. And I actually was live that night, the night of the debate, on Cowboy Logic Radio here on Red State Talk Radio. They invited me to participate in a post-debate analysis. And I think my primary comment during that time when they asked me about what I thought, and I said, I just wonder what planet these people live on to where you can solve all the world's problems with unicorns and rainbows and taxpayer money to fund all this unbelievable spending of in the government.
But that was where the media, and I watched a little bit of it, and I started hearing, I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. But I watched maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes of it, and I heard the free this, free health care, free college, free. It just kept getting free. But there's never a follow-up question on how you going to pay for it.
No, not one time. Never. Nobody ever asked them that. No.
And I think, if this is the Republican debate, they have follow-up questions 3 or 4 after going, well, how's that going to work? How are you going to do this? How are you going to make it work? How are you going to pay for it? But they never do that to the Democrats. And,
you know what was missing in that debate, though? They talked about all kinds of, like you said, all kinds of free stuff here and there and blah, 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 and expanding this and whatever. Did you notice something that was drastically missing from the total discussion at all for the entire couple hours?
What?
Basically, almost nothing about foreign policy. I think ISIS. I'm not even sure if ISIS got mentioned unless it was
mentioned at one time.
One time, I think, yeah. And really, it wasn't a question specifically about ISIS. It was about something else, and they just happened to throw ISIS in the answer, I think, is the way it went.
Yeah.
But they didn't talk about Russia, didn't talk about the mess in the Middle East, didn't talk about North Korea, didn't talk really talk about Iran, really, I think they might have got mentioned once.
And you had the Secretary of State on the stage, or former.
That was the thing that was amazing. Now there's no doubt that CNN was trying to be very kind to Hillary. Now they did ask her a couple of questions, and but she handled it pretty well because they weren't in-depth questions. And I thought what was so funny was, I don't know if you noticed this or not. I guess you probably did if you watched the whole thing. But Lincoln Chafee, who, by the way, that guy, what is wrong with that guy? Good Lord. But anyway, excuse me. He mentioned at least 2 times, maybe 3 times in the debate that he was the only person that was on the stage that basically never had a scandal. And he was referring, of course, to Hillary and all her multitude of scandals. And at one point he said that, and then Anderson Cooper said, well, Miss Clinton, would you like to respond? She just goes, no. She got away with that. She said no, and everybody started cheering. And, excuse me, that was the end of that, Like, oh, well, I guess your scandals don't matter. And really, the thing is, they don't matter to Democrat voters. They really don't care.
No, and I did watch the clips because I watched 20 minutes of the show, and I said, I just can't take this stuff. And I turned it off because I knew the next day when I'm watching the news, I'm going to see all the clips.
Yeah.
And so I did see the clip with Bernie saying, he was tired of the emails and time to go through the emails, and Clinton goes there and shakes his hand. And I'm thinking, this Mutual Admiration Society just, they try to get the Republicans to turn on each other.
Yeah.
and the Democrats are like, I mean, your primary target of Hillary Clinton and all the crap that she's got on her back right now, you got so much to go after, and they leave it alone, or they come to her defense. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, what was bad besides that, Ken, was when she answered some of the questions that were a little bit tough. I mean, trust me, they were not.
No,
they were not trying to, Anyway, she lied. she just flat out lied, and of course, she doesn't get called on that either. They just let her accept her answer as the Lord's gospel and move on.
Because she is counting on getting away with the lies. With the vast number of people, they just go to the polls to vote based on the little clips they watch on the news, a little bit at a time, once or twice a week. They catch that little glimpse of what she says and goes, well, yeah, she's okay.
Yeah,
there's no problem there.
Well, she kept saying that what she did was acceptable and it was within the rules, and it was not.
It was not. Yeah. See, that just.
It's been done before. Yeah, it was done before, back before email was even really invented. I mean, that kind of almost kind of answer to where she was just. I mean, no Secretary of State, no cabinet member ever has had their own personal email server in their home. That has never happened. And she acts like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
That just hasn't.
And we know for a fact the Russians, the Chinese, and who knows, God knows who else has tried to hack into her servers. And they might have gotten into it, but they know they've tried had numerous countries try to hack into there.
Well, if trust me, if they were not able to hack into her server, they didn't need to. But these people should be ashamed of being called hackers.
Yeah,
because like I explained to you, I actually went and checked out when the server was still up. I actually went and did a routine, very simple test to check the security of the server, and it failed.
And for me, her knowingly doing that stuff, and she does. Knowingly say that she did that. She put this country in jeopardy, and for that she needs to be in jail. I just don't. I see no other way around it. But to me, that's not the big thing. The big thing is Benghazi, because this lady came out and said it was a video. This whole administration came out and said it was a video, knowingly saying it was a video when they knew exactly that it was not a video that caused that.
They knew that the very first day.
Tragedy.
We come to find out later that. It wasn't the fact that they found out a week or two later, which we suspected that was not the truth anyway. But we have now know that they knew virtually immediately.
Yes.
That it was a planned terrorist attack. Yet for 2 to 3 weeks they kept spreading that stupid story about the video.
Yeah, and I think that's the bigger story.
It is, because that helped Barack Obama get through the election. I mean, this was right before the election.
Yep.
If he had come out and they knew and they lied, I mean, who knows what would have happened?
Yep. And Hillary was part of that, of saying it was a video. She said it in front of the families, in front of the caskets, that day when they had a little service there.
Oh yeah, at the Air Force Base. Yeah.
And that just made me sick, thinking that you sit there and lie to those families with the caskets right in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand this woman. I can't stand it. I don't want to. Every time I see her, it's like watching Barack Obama. But the lies, I'm fed up with it. Just fed up with it. And the majority of people that vote for her don't, just look the other way.
Well, here, ladies and gentlemen, if you've not already done so, break out your old-fashioned hot popcorn popper, because next week she's going to be testifying on the Benghazi subcommittee with Trey Gowdy and the rest, and her right-hand, quote, man, Huma Abedin, testified for 6 hours in secret this past week. Lord, I would love to know what she said.
Is this going to be behind closed doors too, or is this going to be televised?
No, I'm like 99% sure this is going to be televised, and trust me, I'm going to be watching every minute I can, hoping that Trey Gowdy gets her panties in the wads, excuse the language. But gets her frustrated, and I hope she blows a stack. And I hope to God they don't let her get away with testifying without going under oath. Now, even though to a Clinton being under oath and lying, they don't have a problem with that. That's not the issue. It's just that if you testify under oath, later on you find out that the person did lie, then that's grounds for perjury from a congressional committee. And that has its own set of circumstances. But I mean, let's just face it, Bill Clinton lied to the American people. He lied to Congress and got away with it. Nothing ever happened to him. So he was able to withstand all that back in the day. So, but again, we keep saying this: he is a much better liar and a much better politician than Hillary Clinton. It's not even close. But I will give Hillary credit when it came to her debate. She was definitely the more polished of the 5 candidates on stage. But here's the thing: when you have any idea, Ken, how many debates she participated in 2008 when she ran against Barack Obama?
I don't know.
25. 25. She's got experience. But here's the thing. You know how many debates the Democrats have scheduled thus far for the Democrat Party? And they've already had one, but the total number is, guess what? 6. I wonder why that is.
Well, I don't think the Democrat, watching the Democratic, 20 minutes of the Democratic debate, for me, pretty much there?
Yeah, excuse me, I muted my mic. I had to cough.
Sorry, I didn't know if I lost you. For me, I think that they had the biggest total of people to watch a Democratic debate, but I think people were watching, like I was, the first few minutes. I was watching to see if anybody would go after Hillary.
Yeah, nobody.
That was the reason.
Nobody did.
When I got the gist of the thing, and I saw the clips from the next day, I went, okay, nobody went after Hillary. Nobody wants this thing. It's all rigged as far as the Democrat people, that they get their front runner and they get behind her and go, okay, she's the nominee. We can't go after her. I go after her, I'm going to lose any clout I have in the party, so they leave her alone.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So and Bernie, I think Bernie's looking for something to do in her administration, honestly, after that little comment about, he's tired of the emails too and that kind of crap. So,
well, I mean, she literally, as soon as he did that, she started cackling like an old hen, like she does.
Oh God, I hate that.
Oh Lord, every time she does that, I think of.
I'll get you, Dorothy.
Well, that, and I think of ex-wives. I'd rather not think about it.
Well, that's worse than what I was thinking.
Anyway, so when she does that, it just drives me nuts, and I'm so glad I'm not married anymore. And so, and then she shook his hand, and it was like a photo op, and it's like, yeah, you're going to have a place in my administration. I mean, you can almost, see that,
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about her being polished and stuff, and I'm thinking, look what you got up on the stage. You've got a socialist, a self-professed socialist, who is.
Well, let's be honest. 4 out of the 5 people are socialists, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, but you got the.
But Bernie admits he is, so like I give him credit for that. So.
You got a governor, a past governor that's really a no name, and the other 2 no names, and I think you're not. I mean, it's not like the Republican thing where you got a bunch of them that you all know, that are all strong personalities. You didn't have that. You don't have that. It's a farce.
No, Lincoln Chafee, I don't think the word strong personality has ever been used to describe him.
No.
Martin O'Malley, he, compared to the rest, he did okay, I guess. But again, he was just another socialist on the stage trying to give away every damn thing. Of course, Hillary and Bernie did their shtick, but the one person that on the stage that did not belong on that stage, to be honest, was Jim Webb. Truly an American hero. He's a Democrat, but I mean, this guy what he did in Vietnam. I think we mentioned this on Facebook. We communicated a little bit, and I'm sure you probably know this, but I mean, he won. I think he won like Silver Star, 1 or 2 Silver Stars, Bronze Star, Purple Heart twice, I think, and I mean, he won numerous commendations for his heroic service in Vietnam. And if you read the account where he got one of his, I think, Silver Stars, this guy was a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord.
Yeah.
You know, he don't have nothing to prove to nobody.
No. This guy they can make a movie about.
Yeah, somebody should make a movie about this guy, and I'm saying that, and he's a Democrat and running for president in the Democratic Party, but he's the only one out of that whole bunch that I would consider actually voting for, just based on his and now he's not. I really don't think he's a socialist. I think he's an old-style Democrat. I think he's a Democrat like we used to think Democrats were.
John Kennedy.
The John Kennedy type of Democrat that actually cared about national security, actually cared about hopefully trying to do the right thing, even though John Kennedy was on the wrong side of the issues a few times. Still, a halfway decent president. I don't necessarily call him great. The only reason I think now this is going to piss off some people, but the only reason I think John F. Kennedy is considered a great president is because he was assassinated. And I hate to say that, but I think that's pretty much the truth. If he had not been assassinated and served his term, I don't know if he would have been a great president or not, because really he didn't get the chance, So hard to say. The Cuban Missile Crisis, I give him, I think he did pretty well in that situation. Give him credit for that. This other bunch, if we had a similar situation, a national security thing, I'd hate to think of what the country would. Well, you know what, the country being is about as big a mess as what we have right now, because look at what Barack Obama has done and, quote, not done in the Middle East, and what a mess that is. And that's largely in part to Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I think it's funny that things that Barack Obama, the last debate that Barack Obama was in before he was reelected, and he was making snide remarks about Romney, and Romney talking about the greatest threat to American security right now was Russia, and you had Obama just acting like you're out of your mind, and you're living in the 80s.
You're living in the Cold War days.
Yeah, and all that's turned out to be absolutely true.
Yeah, but you know what? It would not be true if Barack Obama had the cojones and would do what he said in the Middle East and show leadership. This whole idea of leading from behind, which Barack Obama, that term has been coined because of him. Think about it. Have you ever heard the term leading from behind before this guy got into office?
Not really.
Really? Think about that.
Mm-mm.
They had to come up with their own term just to describe what the hell's going on.
He's made his mission as a president to bring us into just the mix of countries that we're not exceptional. We're not a superpower. We're like everybody else, and we only have one vote. Like United Nations type thing. And I'm like, you're so far from what a president should be here. I got
news for him, and I got news for Bernie Sanders too. We're not Denmark. We're not Norway. We're not Sweden.
No,
we're the United States of America.
Yeah.
We're running late. Let's go to break. When we come back, we got plenty more to talk about. Stick with us. This is the Red State Town Hall. I'm your host, Primo Mondoni. My co-host, Ken Brown. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Red State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hi, this is Jeff Carlisi from the band 38 Special. The mainstream media has failed the American people once again. Internet radio networks like Red State Talk Radio will not fail you. Tune in 24 hours a day. Studios A and B. Great conservative programming around the clock. Red State Talk Radio, the dominant force in Internet conservative talk radio.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom36.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom36.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 36.com. Go to freedom36.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom36.com.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we could promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call 800-610-3497 and get your 44 pills for $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in an unmarked package. Call us right now, 800-610-3497. 800-610-3497. That's 800-610-3497.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-554-7159 and get 2 bottles free. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-554-7159. That's 800-554-7159.
Hi, this is Primo Mondoni, General Manager for Red State Talk Radio. We've been bringing you the very best in grassroots, common sense, conservative talk radio for over 5 years now. One thing I've learned in those 5 years is that internet radio is a tough, competitive business. And if the station is going to advance that next level, it's going to require a significant increase in investments in both personnel and infrastructure. Our listenership grew by 42% in 2014, and with our ever-expanding listener base, it's time that we begin the move to a more listener-supported model to provide the station's future financial needs. Therefore, we're asking our loyal listeners to consider making a donation to help us reach our goals. Monthly subscriptions begin at only $2 per month, so please, help us restore conservative principles to our republic. Visit our website and become a Red State Talk Radio supporter today.
Red State Talk Radio. The Talk Monster.
The path to restoring our republic was laid down by our founding fathers. The principles of freedom, liberty, personal responsibility, and limited government are conservative ideals we will never abandon. America is listening. Grassroots, common sense, conservative talk radio. It's on the internet. Tune in now. Red State Talk Radio, featuring some of the most popular internet talk show hosts in America today. Are you listening? RedStateTalkRadio.com.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. We ran a little late there, but hopefully we can finish this thing up. We're talking about the debate. Oh, by the way, the National Journal, Ron Fournier from the National Journal, which is, of course, a progressive site and magazine, etc., said that Hillary Clinton won the debate. But he says in parentheses, it won't always be this way. If you actually read the article, he says that she won the debate, but he says, like I did, that basically she lied almost every answer she gave, that she just didn't tell the truth. And this is coming from a progressive point of view. And what he's pointing out is, okay, you may think she won the debate, and maybe that makes you happy, but when she gets up against a Republican, whoever the nominee is, they're not going to let her slide on all this stuff. Because even if the, quote, journalists don't ask the questions, when you get a chance to rebut what Hillary Clinton says, you know whoever's on the stage, if they know what the hell they're doing at all, are going to just tear her a new one. And that's why I hope it's not Donald Trump, because I don't think Donald Trump can do that sort of thing. I hope it's more like a Ted Cruz or a Rubio in terms of someone who can actually take her on all that stuff. I mean, Ted Cruz and Rubio would just eat her lunch in a foreign policy debate.
So would Fiorina. And
yeah, you're exactly right. So would Fiorina. I just don't have the confidence that Trump would do that. And you know what's funny about the whole Trump thing? We don't want to get off too far on this, but I keep hearing people saying, "Well, I really like Trump because he just says it like it is," and all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, I like that part of what he does too, but I don't think that necessarily makes a good president. I mean, people say, "Oh, he speaks his mind." I really like that. Well, you know, I've had uncles that have been drunk as hell and speak their mind. That's not necessarily a good thing either. You know?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So,
you know, I think Trump is, he's the showman, and people come to hear what he's got to say. But when it gets into the nitty gritty of stuff, he doesn't know. He doesn't keep.
No, but his basic defense is, well, I'll hire people who can tell me blah blah blah. I'll know more about this than the first. You know, when I first get in office, I'll know more about this than you guys do. Blah blah blah.
Well, it's kind of like the thing he said. You know, he said, well, ISIS with Russians want to bomb ISIS. Let them bomb ISIS. Let them bomb the hell out of ISIS.
Well, the reality is, though, they're not really bombing ISIS.
They're not bombing ISIS. That's what I'm saying. That's the reality.
Not that much.
He doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know the intricacies of what's going on. And someone like a Rubio or Paul, or not Paul. Well, actually, Paul would know that. But I would think Cruz, Rubio, Fiorina, those three would be toward the top of my list. By the way, there was a poll. I don't have this as the story we're going to talk about, but there's a poll that was done in two key states, that Nevada and South Carolina, and you would not believe how Donald Trump is dominating those polls. When it comes to the economy, he's like in the 60-70% range. Nobody else is even close in terms of who would be best able to handle the economy, which I can understand that because his business acumen and so forth. But also when it comes to foreign policy, the Middle East, he's way ahead of everybody else. I mean, you start going down the list of stuff, and he scores high in almost every category in Nevada and South Carolina.
I honestly don't think. I just, when he got into this to run for president, I think he didn't expect to be at the top of the polls. At least not this long.
I'm glad you said that. I don't think he did either. And
I really think that he did it to build up the Trump ego and the Trump
brand,
the mystique of the Trump thing, and to get from some free advertisement out of it, and then he would just fade into the woodwork and get out, and he has that bump in popularity, and I think this is kind of taking him by surprise.
Yeah, I think he literally is like, oh my God, I could actually win this thing.
Yeah, and he's actually in the right place at the right time because people are tired of the regular politicians. I mean,
yeah, and I wonder if he understood that on the front end. I don't think he really did understand it as. I don't think any of us understood. I mean, to this extent.
Right.
I'm still amazed that he's doing as well as he's doing. And
look at Ben Carson. It's not just him; it's Ben Carson too.
Yeah, and in some places, in some states, Ben Carson's beaten Trump in a few places, but
who's the top two? It's two people that are not politicians.
Never held office, either one of them. Trump or Carson have never held office. And
you would have thought by this point in time that these guys would be okay. I'm getting out of the race because it's just not working out for me. Now I think what Ben Carson's got going for him is that there's really nothing to attack him on.
Thus far he's been he's kind of Teflon. By the way, there was one thing I saw a thing on I think it was YouTube or Facebook, I forget, where they were talking about I guess they were talking about Planned Parenthood or something like that, and supposedly it was kind of a fly-by-night kind of question as he's moving between his venue and his vehicle, and he supposedly chuckled, and the media was making a big deal that he was chuckling about this important issue, blah, blah, blah. And someone from TMZ, which is just an entertainment channel, asked him about the chuckle. He said, well, I'm glad you asked me that. He said, because one of his handlers said, no, he won't answer those questions, blah, blah, blah. And Carson says, no, I'll answer that one. And he goes, I wasn't chuckling about the issue. I was chuckling about basically the stupidity of the question. He said, the reporter asked a dumb question. That's what made me chuckle. And so that was a potential problem for him, and he handled that just really well. And the thing is, the guy is smart. I mean, no matter what you say about him, whether or not he should be president or not, I mean, I'm not going to go into all that. It's just he does make a lot of common sense. There's a few things he says that has said in the past I'm not real crazy about. But there's some things about Fiorina. I saw a thing. I don't know if it's even true or not, but I saw a thing, because you see stuff all the time that's not true, just people put up on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But there was a thing about Carly Fiorina saying that she would have voted for Sotomayor for Supreme Court justice, and act like, well, that's a reason why I'll never vote for, kind of thing, and all that sort of thing. And well, if she said that, I don't know if she did or not, but if she said that, that makes me wonder about her a little bit, But at the same time, that does not disqualify her in my mind. Just that one statement, Right. You have to have for the most part, you gotta have a cumulative series of statements or mistakes that I find I just can't handle for me to eliminate you from competition. But like, for example, Bush, his stance on gun control, his stance on immigration, his stance on Common Core, that's enough for me right there. Boom. That's three strikes, you're out. I'm not going to let one situation where she says she would have voted for a Supreme Court nominee, someone that I would never have voted for, that's not going to eliminate her from the race as far as I'm concerned. But if she has two or three or more of those things, then that would reflect badly on her, that sort of thing. So
yeah, well, I mean, I like Rubio, but I didn't like Rubio's stance on immigration the first time around.
Yeah, well, he's like I say, he's changed his position on that. Now, whether or not that's just political expediency, or whether or not he has really had a come to Jesus moment and realizes he was wrong, I don't know. Yeah.
But he did change his mind, and so I'm.
I would hope anybody would if they got better evidence,
Yeah, but I'm a Rubio fan. I'll be real happy with Rubio as president. I'd be really happy with Cruz as a president.
Rubio's got a good story to tell, and he is photogenic. He is charisma. I don't know if he's going to have enough money. I don't know. There's starting to be some rumors about that he's not doing so well with the money. And he's from Florida, which I know this gets kind of in the nit and the grit, but if you don't get Florida, you cannot win the presidential nomination if you don't get Florida and Ohio and I don't know, maybe Virginia or someplace like that. But Florida and Ohio are a must. You got to get both those.
Yeah.
Or there's no path because The sad thing is, ladies and gentlemen, because of New York and California and the vast number of delegates they have, it takes some states that you've got to absolutely wrap up in order to have a chance, based on what the current red and blue state map looks like. You got to have a couple of states that you have to win, or you just will not get 270 delegates. Period.
Yeah, they're kind of put behind the 8 ball going into it.
You know, if California were divided up in 3 or 4 or 5 states, because there are conservatives in California, if that were done, that would change the entire electoral map.
Of course.
And New York, if you were to lop off the northern part of New York, which is more rural, and you actually do have, believe it or not, Republicans in New York. They're just not in New York City. Not very many of them. You have to go outside New York and go upstate New York. Upstate New York is pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Again, if that state were lopped in half.
Yeah, and you got conservatives all over California, but
they're definitely outnumbered. But again, if they were individual states, they would get their own delegates, you know, and plus California itself would not have as many delegates on the blue state side. That would cut that. I mean, it would just make a big difference. Of course, you could say the same thing about Texas. There's a certain section. You go around Austin, Texas, and there are a lot of progressives there. But outside of Austin, kind of hard to find one much, you know. You go South Texas, West Texas, you know, whatever.
Texas.
Yeah. And even Tennessee. Even Tennessee is not that big of a state. Doesn't have that many votes. But you take Western Tennessee, basically Jackson, Memphis, all that stuff, they vote totally different from Middle Tennessee and East Tennessee. I mean, it's night and day, you know. Like, for example, my county in southeast Tennessee, when it came to the last election with Romney, 78% of the people in my county voted Romney. I mean, that just shows you how strong we are here. But now, you go to Memphis, it wasn't even close. I mean, Barack Obama took Davidson County, or not Davidson, it's Shelby County. Sorry, Shelby County. Davidson County's in Nashville. Shelby County. He took that. I don't know what the percentage was, but I'm sure it was probably 90%, 95%, because most of Shelby County is black. That's just being honest. There's not that many white folks in Shelby County. It's just not. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about. Well, 2 things we need to get. We don't have a lot of time. Let's talk about this Obamacare thing real quick, and then we'll talk about Hillary Clinton real fast about her FBI probe. 2 things about Obamacare. There's a story that came out from the Daily Caller about the co-op flop. And the title of the article, Ken, says, "The biggest Obamacare disaster you've never heard about." So I would encourage everyone to go to redstatetalkradio.com and read the co-op flop from the Daily Caller. And basically it's showing how I think 6 or 7 of these co-ops have already completely failed. And they're talking about most all of them going to hit the skids here real soon. Here's the thing though, that another thing nobody's talking about. You know, the CBO, Ken, says that by the end of 2016 we should have 20 million people on Obamacare. That's their estimate, right? You know what the White House is admitting to? That 2015, 2016, the numbers for Obamacare are not going to be as nearly good as they thought, and they're predicting a little over 10 million people at the end of 2016. So the CBO projected 20 million, and that 20 million is based on what they have to do in order to keep Obamacare afloat. And the White House is even admitting that they're going to do a little more than 10 million. That's basically half. So if they're only going to have half the people in Obamacare that they thought they're going to have in order to make it a viable program, what the hell happens if you only have half the numbers? Yeah, I mean, the math is not going to work out. Cannot work out.
No.
There was a thing on Facebook this week, and I think I posted it. I know I posted it. I don't know if you saw it or not. But there was a guy who had Obamacare, was paying $398 a month, and he basically said that was a struggle for him to do that, which I can understand. That's $400 a month. That's
a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot of money. And he got his Obamacare thing this past year. And his $398 premium went up to over $1,400. $1,400. So he dropped his Obamacare. He couldn't afford $1,400 a month. So he gets a letter, a nice little letter from the IRS, telling him that, of course, now the amount of money the IRS bills you if you don't have Obamacare has gone up. And now he has a tax bill of I think either $2,300 or $2,800.
Oh, jeez.
So, I'm telling you, at some point, this thing cannot stand scrutiny. The fact that you're making Americans purchase something they either don't want or can't afford, and then when you force them to do it, and they do it like this poor guy did, and then they jack the premiums up on you like 4 times or whatever, nearly 4 times, and you just simply cannot afford it, then you get hit with the IRS penalty. There's just something wrong about that. That's just, it's bad enough the poor guy can't afford his insurance, but then he gets penalized, and if he was supposed to get a tax refund, he's not going to get a tax refund now because of that?
Well, there's numerous. I mean, he's not the only one.
Oh, no, he's not the only one. That's just one instance of that happening. And here's the thing. I challenge anyone to show me a person who started out with Obamacare on the first day who's not paying more now. I've not heard a single story of someone that says, hey, my Obamacare only cost me $100 a month, and now it's only $12 a month. I've not heard that story. Now, it may exist, but I don't think so. We only got about 3 minutes left. Let's talk real quick about the FBI probe of Hillary Clinton's emails. There is a clause in the espionage statutes of the United States of America, Ken, having to do with gross negligence. There's a provision called gross negligence, which, by all accounts, the word is the FBI probe is focusing on the gross negligence clause of the law when it comes to Hillary Clinton and her email server. The fact that she had her own homebrewed server and it had no real security, blah, 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 blah. Well, they're saying that fits in the gross negligence part of the law. And here's the thing, Ken. If you are guilty of gross negligence with national security, and here's the thing, they don't even have to be top secret documents. They can just be government documents, period. And it doesn't matter if you thought they were classified or unclassified. That, again, that doesn't have anything to do with it. You can face up to 10 years in federal prison for that.
As she should.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the question is, of course, will she? I still think, no matter what Trey Gowdy does, no matter how much he exposes of her, the worst that's going to happen to her is that she is forced to withdraw from the presidential race in shame. Which I'm actually okay with that. However, I'd like to see her do the perp walk and get leg irons and have her hands behind her back and put in an orange jumpsuit, not the one she likes to wear every now and then, but a real one, and hauled off somewhere.
I would too.
I don't think that's going to happen. I hate to say it, but there's one set of laws for the people like the Clintons, and there's one set of laws for me and you. That's just reality.
Yeah, there'll be some deal cut if it comes down to that. But I'm almost with you. Is that if we just shame her, shame the Clinton thing, get her out of the race, and shame her. I'm just about like, okay, fine, just take her out politically. Okay, I'd rather see her behind bars because I think she belongs behind bars. I think she's put us all in jeopardy. I think her emails and the independent server is just It's beyond reproach. I hate that lady. The lies about it, and then her saying, "Well, I'm sorry, it wasn't a really good decision. If I had to go do it again, I think differently." No, you wouldn't. You'd done the same way. If all those lies. She belongs behind bars, but if we can shame her, I'll take it too.
Yeah, I just hope that at some point though that they actually get to the real root of the whole thing, and the fact is that those 4 people in Benghazi died because of her incompetence and her decision making, and the fact that she did not provide additional security, even though they begged her for months before all this stuff happened. I hope that is really brought out. If nothing else, I hope Trey Gowdy gets that out. Whether or not they nail her on the mail server, I don't know. I think that's really going to be left up to the FBI probe. I don't think. Now, Trey Gowdy hopefully has enough evidence from the email stuff to really make her sweat and hopefully she makes a really big screw up and leads to her being out of the race in disgrace. But I hope the fact that people understand that these 4 people died because of her neglect and incompetence. I think that's the bottom line that I want to see.
That's what I want. I mean, 4 people are dead. We're not talking Watergate people. This is serious stuff.
No, that's true. I mean, 4 people lost their lives. Okay, we're out of time. Jeez. Want to take us out, Ken?
If we lose freedom here, there is no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. Ronald Wilson Reagan, our 40th President of these United States.
That's it. Thanks for listening. We're out of here. We'll see you next time.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.